Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRIENDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know that the NFC East remains one of the most unpredictable and fiercely contested divisions in football. It's a division that's constantly evolving, with rivalries that run deep, and teams that are always looking for that one move that could tip the scales in their favor. And right now, there's been a lot of buzz about potential trade talks, specifically involving some high-profile wide receivers. Yes, I'm talking about the idea that's been floating around, suggested by none other than Grant Cohn of Sports Illustrated, which has certainly stirred the pot. Cohn proposed a player-for-player swap between the San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Commanders, a swap that at first glance might seem outlandish. But when you dig into the details, it actually makes you think, could this happen? Imagine a world where Brandon Aiyuk, the talented but sometimes enigmatic wide receiver from San Francisco, ends up in Washington, and Terry McLaurin, the heart and soul of the Commanders' receiving corps, makes his way to the West Coast. It's a provocative idea, no doubt about it. But before we get into whether this is feasible or not, let's break down what's really behind these rumors and what the implications could be for both teams, especially for the Commanders, who are always looking to improve their roster and push for a playoff push. First, let's talk about Brandon Aiyuk. The guy is an absolute dynamic playmaker. He burst onto the scene in his rookie year, showing flashes of brilliance, and last season, he continued to develop into one of the more explosive receivers in the league. His route running is crisp, his yards after catch are exceptional, and he's got the speed to take the top off defenses. But as with many things in the NFL, it's not just about talent. It's about what's happening behind the scenes. And here's where the story gets complicated. Aiyuk's relationship with the 49ers has been somewhat turbulent, especially after contract extension talks broke down last year. There were whispers of trade rumors, and it seemed like Aiyuk might be on his way out, or at least, that was one of the options considered by the front office. Now, why would a player who's so talented and seemingly vital to San Francisco's offense be available? Well, it's not just about talent, folks. Aiyuk suffered a torn ACL and MCL in Week 7 last season, injuries that cast a long shadow over his immediate future. His recovery has been positive, no doubt, but the fact remains that he's coming back from a serious knee injury that required reconstruction, an injury that could impact his performance early in the upcoming season. The Niners are a team that prides itself on the health and durability of its key players. And with a roster that's loaded with talent, they might be hesitant to commit fully to a player who has a significant injury history, especially one that keeps him from opening the season at full strength. On the other side, we have Terry McLaurin. Fans in Washington know just how much McLaurin means to this team. Since being drafted in 2019, he's been a consistent threat, a true number one receiver, and a player who brings leadership and reliability. McLaurin is entering his age 29 season, and while he's not yet at the age where decline is imminent, contract talks have been a bit rocky. His current deal, which was restructured last year, is a good deal, but he's looking for that long-term security, the kind of contract that reflects his importance to the team. And let's be honest, if things don't go well in negotiations, a holdout could become a real possibility. Nobody wants to see that, especially the Commanders, who need McLaurin to be fully engaged and ready to produce from Week 1. So, if we look at these two receivers and their current situations, the idea of swapping them makes some sense on paper. Aiyuk, with his talent, could thrive in Washington's system, especially under the guidance of coach Ron Rivera, who's known for his defensive-minded approach but also for developing offensive weapons. And McLaurin, who's already a proven commodity, could fit seamlessly into San Francisco's scheme, particularly under Kyle Shanahan, who is known for creating opportunities for his receivers through creative play calling. But of course, as with any trade rumor, there are massive hurdles. The biggest one, and I can't stress this enough, is Aiyuk's injury history. His torn ACL and MCL are not just minor setbacks, they're significant, and they have long-term implications. The Niners are a team that's always looking to win now, and they need players who can contribute immediately. While recent updates on Aiyuk have been positive, there's no guarantee he'll be at full speed at the start of next season. And that's a tough pill for any team to swallow when they're trying to contend for a Super Bowl. Furthermore, the reality of NFL salary caps, contract negotiations, and team-building strategies makes such a swap complicated. Washington is in a bit of a delicate position with McLaurin, who's been a cornerstone of their offense. They want to keep him, but if talks go south and he refuses to sign a new deal, a trade might become the only option. Yet even then, the Commanders would likely demand a substantial compensation package, perhaps including draft picks and additional players, not just a straight swap. And for San Francisco, giving up Aiyuk, especially after the injury, might not be on their radar unless they're truly convinced that McLaurin can be a reliable, immediate upgrade at receiver. Another aspect worth considering is the chemistry and familiarity between players. Aiyuk and Deebo Samuel formed a solid duo in San Francisco, and Aiyuk's relationship with quarterback Brock Purdy has been promising. Moving him away might disrupt some of that offensive rhythm, and Shanahan's offense is heavily reliant on timing and chemistry. On the flip side, McLaurin's rapport with quarterback Sam Howell in Washington has been building, and he's been a key target for the young quarterback, providing a sense of stability and veteran leadership. So, while the idea of a swap is intriguing, it's also filled with caveats. It's the kind of rumor that sparks debate among fans and analysts alike. Would it benefit both teams? Could it solve some positional issues? Or would it introduce new challenges that outweigh the potential gains? For Washington, it's essential to weigh the immediate impact of losing McLaurin versus the potential upside of acquiring a younger, talented receiver like Aiyuk, who still has a lot of developmental upside despite his injury. For San Francisco, it's about balancing the desire to bolster their receiving core with the risk of losing stability and experience in their offense. In the end, the NFL is a league where moves happen all the time, and nothing is truly off the table until it's officially announced. But one thing is for sure, the division rivals are always watching, always strategizing, and always ready to pounce when an opportunity presents itself. The NFC East, with the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, and now potentially the Commanders, continues to be one of the most exciting divisions in football, and any shift in player personnel can have ripple effects that last for years. As fans, we love these discussions, these hypothetical scenarios that make us think, what if? But at the end of the day, what truly matters is how these teams will shape their rosters for the upcoming season. Will Washington find a way to keep McLaurin happy and productive? Or will they consider a bold move that could redefine their receiving group? And for the 49ers, will they hold firm and keep Aiyuk, especially after his injury, or will they look for other options on the trade block? It's a fascinating puzzle, and we'll be watching every step of the way. Remember, the NFL offseason is a time of whispers, rumors, and strategic moves. Sometimes, the most outlandish ideas turn into reality, and other times, they remain just rumors that fuel our football conversations. Whatever happens, one thing is for sure, the NFC West and NFC East are going to be even more interesting as the new season approaches. The stakes are high, the rivalries are heated, and the drama is never far behind. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think a player-for-player swap like this could work? Would you like to see McLaurin in San Francisco or Aiyuk in Washington? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates and analysis, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. We're passionate about this team, and we're here to bring you all the insights you need to stay ahead of the game. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, let's keep the passion alive. Go Commanders!